I never imagined when I started on this journey through basketball that I would be a role model for 6'9", brown, moderately athletic English kids. I always thought as I moved forward, as my influence grew and my power, my personal power and influence grew, that I would be a role model for all people, or attempt to be that. Attempt to be a person that any person could look at and find some attribute there that could be a handhold for them to move up. And that's how I feel now. I don't think that I should be necessarily a role model just for tall black people with ever-expanding waistbands. I want to be more than that. As a psychologist, that's my job. I'm interested in human performance, and diversity has a direct correlation with human performance. HR departments already know about it in terms of acquisition and retention of talent, but there's so much more to it than that. That I do spend an awful lot of my time putting interventions into companies to train them in terms of diversity, to help them get the peak performance out of people. And it used to be, in traditional times, that people who were different, they had different abilities, perhaps disabilities, different sexual orientations, different shades of skin, they were looked on by the tribe as holding medicine. And it was always imagined that it was the job of the tribe to find a way to access that medicine. I thought that's really profound, especially when you consider kind of an organizational sense. This is what you have. The more diversity you have, the more different types of medicine you have to treat what ails you and to make you better, to make you grow and succeed. But you can only do that if you can access that medicine, if you can treat those people in a way that makes them want to freely give it. And I thought that was really important. I don't believe in a hierarchy of oppression. I don't believe that homophobia is more important. I don't believe that we can make those kinds of assessments because I don't personally believe that the aspects of my identity are supposed to joust for supremacy. My Nigerian heritage is not supposed to do battle with my Britishness, to do battle with my gayness, to decide where they are on the ladder of things. And that is the same way I view oppression and bigotry from the outside. It should not be, as it seems to be too often, that when you talk of bigotry to people, what they actually do is take off their shirt, bare their shoulders, and show you their back, and try and determine whether the marks that are left due to my color are deeper and somehow more meaningful than the marks that are left because of my orientation. So I do think it's important there. Everything is connected. All oppression and the pain that is caused by it is connected. We see clearly that in this day and age with the Gina situation, with the New York Knicks lawsuit, and frankly, with our interactions on a daily basis, the fact that I stood in actually probably this suit in New York 2 days ago and could not get a cab. We know that racism and sexism and misogyny and all their siblings are still alive and well. We know that they are hidden underneath like a thin, icy veneer. The damage that happens here is not in those reverberating voices of the Tim Hardaways, rehabilitated or not, but rather in the silence in the middle. I believe that generic bigotry inhabits that silence. The silence that is left when its more specific offspring, whether it be homophobia or sexism or racism, goes unchallenged. That is where it lives. Every time I think of the situation with gay people in this country, and I think every time a child gets homework and all of a sudden that's gay, every time a man who's into the arts is obviously queer, anytime a woman who likes sports, who rebuffs a man's advances, who does well in business, who decides not to have children, is obviously a lesbian, those are the moments where we allow the silence. And the beast grows in that silence. It grows in the pause between their act and your second thought. It grows in the moment when we decide, we just can't take a stand every time. I don't believe in an equality of outcome. I believe in an equality of opportunity. And that's what I want. We will have more gay VPs. We will have more people in prominent positions if less of the gay children stop dropping out of school, stop killing themselves, stop spending their time through school with their mental functions and faculties focused so much on their self-protection, focusing on whether their wrist is breaking too much, whether they're walking to camp, whether they've looked at some guy too long. If we can equalize that opportunity at that level, and frankly, that is the same for LGBT people as it is for black people and other minorities as well. At that end, then the outcome will take care of itself. And then after equalizing opportunity, if in 20 years' time, 50 years' time, we look and it's still only one gay VP, then that is something I can live with. But we need to equalize the opportunity first.